figure out why no one will sit in the front row. Welcome to Fountain Central Freshman Orientation this evening, and thank you for rescheduling. We just were unsure what the weather would do last week and didn't want to make a last-minute decision on you, so we appreciate your flexibility. And for any of your friends maybe who couldn't be here tonight, for whatever reason, we are videoing it. We plan to send out a link. We'll send it out to all of you, and maybe we'll be YouTube stars or something. We'll also share all the paperwork from this evening, so for anybody that isn't here tonight for the DC meeting or anything like that, we'll have everything they need. I'd like to start by, if you don't follow us on social media, that's where we have a lot of student pictures and information is posted there regularly. So I think we do have an Instagram account now, and it's run by faculty, but I'm just not much of an Instagram person. So there is a Twitter handle and also a Facebook page. Check it regularly because there is quite a bit of information put on there, as well as we use email quite a bit. So if you haven't experienced that already in junior high, you will in the 9th grade. Now I'm going to pass the mic to Mr. Good, who's going to talk a little bit about athletics.
All right, as you can see, we have a website just for athletics, fcmustangs.com, and also we have an athletics Twitter account at fcmustangsports. And also, if you want to follow any of our calendars, I get a lot of questions on this because there is a difference between the EventLink calendar that is on the school website and just registering for eventlink.com. If you register for eventlink.com, you can basically see any schedule of any team in almost every school in Indiana. Around here, I think Southmont's the only school within 30 miles of us that doesn't use EventLink. They use our school today. But that will show practices and everything. The one that's on the school website won't show all the practices, and he can only fit so many calendars on there. So there is a difference. If you can't figure out how to use the app, email me and I can send you a PDF that tells you how to register for it. Mustang Club, please join. Mustang Club is very important for us. Purchasing equipment, certificates, awards, trophies, letter jackets. It's important to make sure you have a physical before you start practicing in any sport. We run into this every year. People decide last minute they want to compete in a sport and they haven't done a physical. So we want to get those done as soon as possible. We also have a Mustang Maniacs group, CTAP Oakland or Lindsay Good for details after school starts. As always, we'll do the Mustang discount cards. We're actually finishing up those deals for next year right now. These are another item that's pretty important for us to sell these to help raise money for the things we want to do in athletics. You also have the season passes on there, family pass, adult pass, student pass, senior citizen pass. And then the one last thing that I want to talk about, because this has come up as a question a few times this year, it is in our student handbook that if you happen to be an ISS, which hopefully that'll never happen to anybody in here, you're not actually allowed to participate in anything that day or even attend. So if you're on a team and you have a game that night and you're an ISS and it's continuing the next day, you're not allowed to compete. And so that came up a few times this year, and students were unaware, but it is in the handbook. It's always been there, so make sure you're aware of that. So Mr. Webb is going to talk about incentive time for us.
All right, can everybody hear me okay? Next year, as freshmen, you'll have the opportunity to participate in what we call incentive time. We instituted that this school year. And basically what it is, for students that qualify during what is our advisory time during the day. So this happens 4 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. If a freshman has all A's and less than 4 tardies to class and has not been in trouble at the office, then their time, that half-an-hour time, is theirs to do with whatever they please. Now, that's within bounds. We have the gymnasium that is open for play. We have the cafeteria that's open for coming in and hanging out, and also the library is open. Inside the libraries are coffee shops, so if students choose to participate in that, they can have some coffee. A lot of students use it for homework time. Some students choose to go play some basketball, but basically it's an open time for students to be able to just kind of relax a little bit and be rewarded for doing what they need to do. If you don't happen to qualify for that, then you're in your homeroom where you have teachers that are helping you with homework. During advisory time, on Mondays and Fridays, students will be in advisory time. So incentive time will be on Thursday, and also on Tuesday, homeroom teachers will let you know if you qualify for that. And I believe we have some pictures of incentive time. So like I said, this is currently going on here. And so if you qualify, it's kind of a nice, relaxing time for students. And that'll start with your freshman year. And now to describe advisory time, Mrs. Hammond.
So as Mr. Webb mentioned, we did implement an advisory time during homeroom. We just called it advisory 2 days a week, specifically for a few reasons. Our main reason for implementing advisory time is that we really wanted adults in the building to start to build a relationship with a group of students every day. So the homeroom/advisory teacher sees the kids Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. We just don't have that time on Wednesdays because of the delayed start. On Mondays and Fridays, there is no interruption. So we have scheduled activities that take place with the homeroom advisory teacher and the kids in the room. So you can't go make up work, take tests, or any of that kind of stuff that we do during homeroom. It is strictly advisory time with scheduled activities. And we do all kinds of things during that time. And we have a monthly calendar that we always post on the website. We always send it out to parents in the newsletter, just so that you can see. And you've probably seen that if you've seen the newsletter come out this school year, as 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th and 12th have all had advisory activities taking place. So on the calendar, and I have it linked here, it just kind of tells the different activities that are taking place that month. And different grade levels are doing different things, whether it's social emotional learning or college and career readiness activities or checking grades and missing assignments, practicing for the I-step. I mean, it's a plethora of things based on grade level. So we just found that this time could be used for that teacher to build a relationship with kids, and that's somebody that that student can go see anytime and knows that teacher's always there. They see him daily, they can ask him for help or for whatever they might need. Our goal with advisory and homeroom is that the student has the same homeroom advisory teacher every year for all 6 years being here. Now, with that being said, obviously it's not going to be perfect. We have teachers who come and go and leave and different things, so it's not going to be perfect, but that is our goal, to try to keep the same teacher with that group of students throughout their entire time here. So we found it to be beneficial. Sometimes there's team building activities and fun stuff going on, and so it just depends on what's on the schedule, and we follow that. But on Mondays and Fridays, those are strictly advisory. You can't do anything else. It's whatever the activity says here. Tuesdays and Thursdays then is that homeroom time, and as 9th graders, you can qualify for incentives. So you could leave your homeroom on those days if you qualified. So I hope that makes sense of what we're doing with advisory time. Here's some pictures of advisory in action. I think this was Mr. Hall's room. They were doing an activity where they had to write something nice about the person next to them, and then they had 1 minute, pass the paper to the left or right, I can't remember, and then the next person had to write something about the person. It just kept going all the way around the room. And what I found interesting is I was hearing more good stuff from the teachers because they put their name on a sheet too, and the kids were writing about the teachers. So the teachers, I think, found it just as powerful as the kids did. And then in the other picture, Mrs. Jones and Mrs. Foxworthy were doing some 4-year plan, I think, information with freshmen. So, okay, at this time, I'm going to pass it on to Mrs. Jones, who has all the nitty-gritty on what classes and courses you need to take.
Okay, the slide that's up right now talks about the diploma tracks. And if you want to pull out your purple sheet of paper, this is the form that is on the Department of Education website that explains the different types of diplomas students can earn in Indiana. The Core 40 is the basic diploma. It's been the basic diploma since the class of 2016. You can see that at the top of the paper. And basically walking through this, you need to take 8 credits in English. You get 2 credits each year, so those 8 credits are covered by English 9, English 10, English 11, and English 12. Sometimes we might be able to add in a different English credit if a student were to take etymology or creative writing. Sometimes we can count those as an English credit, but we really want students to count on taking English 9, 10, 11, and 12. In math, the Core 40 requires 6 credits in math, and those 6 credits must be Algebra 1, Geometry, and Algebra 2. Sometimes we have parents who are surprised that Algebra 1 is a graduation requirement. All students in the state of Indiana must take Algebra 1. Way back in the day, you could take general math courses, but now students must take those 3 math courses to qualify for graduation. In science, everyone is required to take biology. Some schools have students take biology their sophomore year, but here at Fountain Central, we have all of our 9th graders take biology. Into the sophomore year, that's when you're going to take integrated chemistry, physics, or chemistry. The difference between those 2 classes is that chemistry is going to have or require a higher level of math than what the integrated chemistry physics class requires. And then a student may select any other science course. So you have to have 3 years of science for a Core 40 diploma. And last year, the state came out with an additional list of classes that can count for science credit. When your students are meeting with their teachers during advisory next week, they will present other classes that do count as a science credit. Just as an example, the Project Lead the Way classes, the engineering classes with Mr. Turner, those now count as a science credit. Animal science out of the ag department now counts as a science credit. So the state has added some other courses. Social studies. Everyone must take, even though it says world history or world geography, here at Fountain Central we only offer world history. So that's the beginning course. Either a freshman or sophomore year, you need to take world history. Your junior year, you'll take U.S. history, and then your senior year, you would take government and economics. So those are the requirements for the Core 40, along with PE, which everyone gets to take their freshman year. And you know what's so awesome about freshman PE now? You don't have to wear a PE uniform.
Let's go.
You know? We had to wear these nasty one-piecey striped things that were just incredibly unattractive. And you guys get to wear whatever you like within reason. So you should be looking forward to PE as a freshman. You also have to take health class, and then you have to take additional electives to equal out to 40 credits. So here are the Core 40 slides that are continued. Again, the 6 credits in science. Some of the additional science classes that we have after you would take biology and chemistry or ICP. We offer anatomy, environmental science. One of the things about AP chemistry and AP biology, you have to be thinking about which one you want to take because we don't offer both of those every year. So this year we offered AP chemistry Next year it will be AP Biology. So when you receive your request form, that's going to be evident on there which AP class you would be able to take. And I'll come back to what AP means in a little bit. And like I said, animal science, computer science, principles of engineering, and natural resources. The 6 credits in social studies again. And then some students will want to pursue an academic honors diploma. An academic honors diploma is the diploma that's recognized by colleges and universities across the country as the diploma that will prepare you to enter a 4-year college or university. Within the academic honors diploma requirements, you'll see in the blue, and it's also on this purple sheet, you cannot have a grade less than a C-, and you must maintain a grade point average of 3.0 on a 4.0 scale. And what that means is you have to have a B average or above. If it drops below that, you are no longer eligible for an academic honors diploma. If for some reason, let's say you just had a bad semester and you had a D. I had a student who had a D in biology her freshman year and then went on to make all A's and B's the rest of her high school career. So her senior year, she took that biology class again. It does not eliminate the grade from your transcript, but what it does is make you eligible again for the academic honors diploma. So if that should happen, don't think all is lost. I can never get an academic honors diploma. What it means is you need to work really hard to make sure that grade point average is up and then focus on making all of those other grades A's and B's if you really want to pursue an honors diploma. You'll see in the white, you also have to take 2 more credits in math, and they have to be in upper level math classes, pre-calculus and trigonometry, or probability and statistics and finite math. AP Calculus, obviously, if you are currently in Algebra 1, your senior year, you will be able to take AP Calculus. An honors diploma also requires a foreign language. We only offer Spanish, so that means you have to take 3 years of Spanish. When it says 6 to 8 credits, if we offered a different foreign language, say if we offered French, that would mean you could take 2 years of French and 2 years of Spanish. That's why it says 6 or 8. But we only offer Spanish, so you have to take 3 years of Spanish. 2 fine arts credits, that can be in band, choir, or any of the art classes that Mrs. McCarty teaches. And then you also have to have dual credit AP, SAT, or ACT scores to fulfill that in a total of 47 credits. And if you're looking at this purple sheet underneath on the right-hand side, and it talks about those AP courses. AP stands for Advanced Placement, and that is a college level course that your student would take. And then at the end of the course in the spring, they take an exam. And on that advanced placement exam, the scores are 1 through 5. Depending on the college or university you decide to attend, you have to score a 3, 4, or 5 in order to get college credit. So that's how AP classes work. Dual credit is when you are automatically guaranteed the credit for the class you're taking in high school. You're getting a high school credit and you're getting a college credit. An example of that would be Spanish 3. Right now, Spanish 3, you can get 4 college credits for that class. And Spanish 4 is also another 4 college credits. ACT and SAT scores are also identified there. A Core 40 with technical honors diploma, some people somehow get the impression that this is a middle-of-the-road diploma. It isn't. In fact, for some people, it's more challenging to earn a technical honors diploma than it is an academic honors diploma. The technical honors diploma, if you'll see, so yes, you can't get a grade less than a C minus, and you have to have a grade point average of 3.0 or above, but you also have to take a CTE class. And what that means is, those are what we call our vocational classes. So you have to complete 2 years of the welding program or 2 years in the automotive program. We also have construction. We have heating and air programs. We have an early childhood program. We have a health careers program. Some of those programs are 1 year, some of them are 2. If you do not participate in a vocational program, you are not eligible for a technical honors diploma. The other piece, that you have to have an industry level certification. So let's say you do participate in the automotive program, but you don't earn the certification. That is an option that's available. Those tests to become a certified mechanic are available to students, but if you don't pass that test and you don't earn that certification, you are not eligible for a technical honors diploma. And you know what, if you have questions at any time, please interrupt me. I don't want you to think that you can't, okay? And again, 47 credits. Okay, if you want to take a look now at the blue sheet. We have grade level programming here at Fountain Central. As a freshman, the grade 9 basic requirements are English, algebra, biology, and PE. You'll see on there that world history is, I recommend world history as a freshman. But if you have additional electives you want to take, let's say you're in band and you're in choir and you're in some art class or an engineering class, you can wait and take world history your sophomore year if you're wanting to get all of those in your freshman year. So those are the classes you need to plan on taking as a 9th grader. Some of the electives that are eligible to 9th grade students are listed here on this slide. We have Intro to Ag, Animal Science, because some of our students took Intro to Ag as 8th graders. We have Construction, Engineering, Computer Science, a whole list of electives. And your students will be, like I said, your students will be working on their 4-year plans in advisory time next week. So they will be coming home with some of this information as well. Okay. Our pathway sheet is the orange sheet. Now I've got the diploma types listed again at the bottom of this sheet, so you don't have to refer back and forth to the two. But starting with the class of 2023, and you guys are the class of 24. Okay, so this applies to you. The state now has graduation pathways. How many of you just really loved taking I-STEP? No. Oh, they'll start back. There we go. Okay, well, we don't have the I-STEP plus GQE test anymore. Okay? This year's sophomores are the last ones who have to take it. So, but in order to graduate, because sometimes we think all you have to do is earn your diploma to graduate. But in order to graduate in Indiana, you have to earn your diploma and pass that I-STEP plus 10 test. So there are actually 2 pieces to graduating. Now, there are 3 pieces. We have the diploma, where you earn your 40 or 47 credits. You have to learn and demonstrate employability skills, and you have to meet post-secondary-ready competencies. So we've already talked about the diploma types. Learn and demonstrate employability skills. Project-based learning experiences, service-based learning experience, or workforce-based learning experience. One of the easiest ways to fulfill box number 2 is get a job. If you have a summer job or an after-school job, your employer will sign off and say, yes, this student has work experience. And what we'll do is we'll have you fill out a form, your boss will sign off, we'll scan that form and add it into Harmony as verification that you have worked. Service-based experience. Maybe you're really involved with a local group. Maybe you're in a church youth group and you do service projects. Maybe you, I don't know, if you build houses for Habitat for Humanity or you go on mission trips, and that's part of something that you do on a regular basis. Project-based experiences too, some of our classes actually fulfill this. If you are in the Project Lead the Way classes with engineering, the capstone class, the engineering design and development class, that class, just having that on your transcript fulfills the project-based experience. Because in that class, they have to spend the entire year inventing something. And after they invent it, they have to market it. And then they have to present it to a committee to explain how they built it, how they decided to create that specific project. And so that is a long-term project, and that's why that particular class would fulfill it. Just doing a leaf collection for biology class doesn't fulfill project-based learning. I think it should. So with employability skills, like I said, if you have, that is you have a resume. These are some of the things that can be a piece of that as well. Those are some of examples of service-based learning. Notice the FFA is on there. We also have peer tutoring. Band and choir can also fulfill a service-based experience. And then post-secondary readiness competencies. For this one, if you earn an honors diploma, that fulfills that box. Because the honors diploma tells colleges and universities that you are ready to go on to school. You are college ready. ACT and SAT scores, same thing. The ASVAB is actually the military exam. This does not mean that your child has to enlist in the military, but if you earn a 31 on the ASVAB, that is the score that's required to be accepted into the military. So what that would mean is you have met the qualifications to enter the military, so you should be career ready. The other thing, a CTE concentrator. Again, with the vocational programs, that is going to be a technical education for your student. Hopefully, after you've completed the welding program or the automotive program or the heating and air program, you're ready to go and get a job. You're going to learn skills that are going to make you career ready. And then the AP and dual credit, which is actually part of the honors diploma, those two things kind of go together. And we will keep track of those things for you. We actually have something set up in Harmony that's called the graduation checklist. And when your student has fulfilled one of those boxes, Harmony shows us a little checklist, and that's on our side that we can see. One of the things that I would also like to point out to you is the white sheet. These are the college and career concentrator courses. So if you are thinking you want to pursue a technical honors diploma, or that's going to be the graduation pathway box that you fill, these are the courses that you need to think about pursuing by the time you're in 12th grade. Okay, the yellow sheet. Everyone is going to be working on this sheet in advisory next week. This is not the copy that we will collect. This is the copy for you to have. So if your child comes home and says, I have questions or I want to talk things over, this is your guide to helping your child set up their four-year plan. You'll see how, just as an example, in grade 8, let's say your child took algebra in grade 8. So you're going to go down to the section for math and check off algebra. And you'll see that there is a 2 in parentheses there. That means your child has earned 2 high school credits. So any of the classes that were taken for high school credit this year, maybe Intro to Ag, Spanish 1, there was also an art class, Intro to 2D and Intro to 3D art. Those were also for high school credit. So if your child has taken those classes, that's why we have a column for 8th grade. In 9th grade, you're going to check off English, whichever math class you're going to take, whichever science class. And then as you go through, each grade level needs to come to the total of 14 because you can earn 14 credits every year. If you decide to take a study hall, you do not earn credit for a study hall. That would mean you would only earn 12 credits that year. Did you want me to just tell them to take a look at that? I'll say that. Okay, this sheet right here that says 21st Century Scholars at the top, even if you don't think that you will qualify financially as a 21st Century Scholar, I would recommend that you go ahead and complete the Scholar Track application. The reason I would recommend that you go ahead and do that, that is going to help us, when your student is a senior, identify whether or not they have completed the free application for financial aid. Also, if you are an academic honors diploma recipient, you're an automatic candidate for the Frank O'Bannon Scholarship, which is $1,000. So, but you have to fill it out. You have to fill out a Scholar Track application. So I would highly recommend that everyone go ahead and fill this out. If you do qualify for the 21st Century Scholarship, you have to fill it out by July following your 8th grade year. Otherwise, you don't get it. That is a hard deadline. So I would just highly recommend that everyone get onto the Scholar Track and complete that. The last thing we have for you to take a look at this evening, Mrs. Britton asked some of her students in the junior class to share what we wish we had known as a freshman. I really like number 2. Grades count for credits. So doing homework is more important and studying is more important. I used to tell students it's kind of like a video game where you have to collect coins or rings or whatever it is. If you don't collect the 14 coins every year, you don't get to go on to the next grade level. You have to take that class again. So, homework is important. Number 8, freshman grades pave the path. It's very, very difficult to bring your grade point average back after you've let it fall below that 2.0. Any questions? Is it just a lot to absorb? Remember, high school is awesome. It is what you make it. Get involved. Get involved. I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Hannah.
Okay, that's going to wrap up our orientation part this evening. I think I saw Mrs. Stephanie is in the back, and where would you like our Washington, D.C. meeting to take place? Right there? Sure, so anyone who is attending the